Little light turnout yesterday. Everybody have a good day? Good, yeah. Well, we're pushing through it here. So obviously, big challenge going down to Houston. Good football team, do a lot of things well. We talked about that. So kind of accelerate and put things together here today. Couple leftover items from yesterday, and then moving on to our normal Friday and day before the game type preparation. So get down there and let's try to be ready to go.
Any other questions? Mike Reese?
Leftover items at the day after Thanksgiving, we can certainly relate. That was good with leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
How was the kicker situation? You guys just announced Nick released and Kai coming in. Tell us about
We'll
that.
do introductions and so you can get to know everybody. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just worked Kai out earlier this fall, 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever it was. So we'll see how it goes.
You often say it's the National Football League. You can lose a player, at any time. In this kicker situation, how would you just sort of describe it relative to anything you've experienced in the past? It seems like it's been a challenging situation, to say the least.
Yeah, it has, but it's the other teams in the league have gone through it. We've gone through it at other positions, so it's not what you want. It's not ideal, but we'll keep going.
Just to follow up on that, what did you think of the work that Nick did just coming in? What were your thoughts?
Good. Yeah, we're making progress, in terms of the timing and overall operation. But yeah, not bad.
Is the intention to bring back Nick once he's healthy?
Yeah. Well, right now we're go down and play Houston. Try to go down and beat Houston. That's the intention right now. That's our goal. So worry about next week.
Some of the guys in the locker room said some of the other illnesses, they've never seen anything like it, where 8 guys are missing practice on one day. Is that affected preparation?
Yeah, we've had some guys miss. So we'll see how they are today. Excuse me. See how they are today. Reevaluate it after today. Would have been hard if we played yesterday. I'd say that.
Yeah, Bill, when you are dealing with a situation like that, is the tougher thing being able to get through a practice as you normally might, or is it making contingency plans, not really knowing, what the next few days will hold for those players that are dealing with whatever they're dealing with?
It is what it is. So, we have players on the practice squad. We have players on our roster, and so if we need somebody to step into a spot, then hopefully they're ready to do it. We'll see.
Half a tour?
Kind of couple of coughs that you just had there. Are you sick yourself?
No, I feel good now. I think just something kind of went down the wrong way. No, I'm good.
Was your coaching staff at all affected by this?
Look, it's kind of hit everybody a little bit, so, we'll see. Start doing injury reports on coaching staff. That'd be the next thing.
In terms of the kicker, what did you notice about the way that Joe Cardona and Jake Bailey have handled the situation? Just different guys coming in and working with those guys.
Yeah, they've been great. Joe's got a lot of leadership, obviously, and more experience, but Jake's mature beyond his years, and he's handled everything as well or better than I could imagine anybody at his age and his experience level handling it, from the punts to the field goals to the holding to the kickoffs. Really, he's done a great job for us. So they've both been great.
How much of an impact is that, just that relationship and that chemistry that they can build with the kicker?
Yeah, it's an important relationship. We've been fortunate. We've had a lot of continuity through the years, where we've been able to keep a snapper, holder, and kicker together for multiple years at a time, rather than switching them out every year back and forth. Now we've had some transition. I'm not saying that, but we've had sustained periods of 4 or 5 years where there hasn't been a lot of change. So unfortunately, there has been this year, but I think those guys are doing a great job in minimizing the amount of minimizing the, I'd say, amount of movement and change. Certainly having those two guys being consistent makes it a lot easier for the kicker to, come in and execute it.
Is that something you noticed about Jake Bailey during, evaluation periods, that he's mature beyond his years?
I don't think you really know about any, like those type of things about players till you actually have them and you go through, enough with them to get a full sampling. You hear what other people say and so forth, but with all due respect to them, they don't know, what a person was in one situation, what he is in another situation. It's not always the same thing, and sometimes the standards are different. Sometimes the degree of difficulty of the situation is more or less easy or hard, depending on how it goes. So I don't think you really know. I don't think people are trying to mislead in any way, one way or the other, but their view of the player and our view of the player may not be the same just because of circumstances and the situation. So we kind of reserve judgment on that. Not saying we discount what's being told to us, to kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Bill, last year, speaking to you and to players about Jack Easterby, they're very complimentary about what he did in terms of team building and things of the like. And I'm just curious this year how you guys have reacted. Obviously, without him, do you try to replace those same sort of elements, or do you just kind of let things unfold naturally? How has, I guess, that role kind of manifested itself this year without him?
Yeah, well, without getting into a lot of specifics, whenever a person has a job and they leave, then somebody has to handle those responsibilities. So it could be one person doing the same responsibilities. It could be a redistribution of responsibilities. It could be a reorganization of how responsibilities are handled. Or it could be some combination of the above. So depending on each situation, like we've had people leave here every year, and new people come in every year, and so each year, depending on who those people are, what their experience level is, what the position is, who the other people associated with those positions, what kind of experience level and competency and what they can do, then I would structure it based on all those circumstances.
A little bit different question, but maybe along the same lines. Have you noticed that locker room interactions have changed as people have gotten more and more involved with their phones? We joke with you about social media pretty frequently, but talking to Mayo, for instance, he's somebody who, when he came into the league, that wasn't necessarily a thing the way it is now, and he noticed some changes in the locker room in terms of how guys interact. I don't know if you've noticed the same thing, or if that team.
How could you not notice it? I mean, she's been under a rock for the last 2 decades. I don't know. It'd be hard to miss it. It's the society we live in. I mean,
does it make things like team building more difficult?
Look, it's 2019. I mean, you can't turn the clock ahead 10 years. You can't turn it back 10 years. Like, it is what it is. 2010 was 2010. 1999 was 1999. I don't know. So you are where you are. You work with what you have to work with.
Bill, understanding the result of any play is a function of a number of different variables. Tom has thrown the ball away more this season than any year before it, except for one. And I don't know if you see any trend or kind of singular driving force behind the way he's kind of thrown the ball away more often this year.
Yeah, I think we look at each play, try to break it down individually, and whatever the comments are on that play, the critiques, criticisms, reinforcements of positive actions on the play, then that's what we do. So as far as, breaking down overall trends and all that, each play is different. So I wouldn't try to lump them all into one category.
Does the transition to Kai Sunday, is it easier or more difficult because you're being indoors?
I don't know. Wherever the games are scheduled, we play them, so we don't have any control of that. Whatever it is, it is.
Last question, Jim McBride. What have you seen from John Simon's development since he's been here?
Yeah, John's done a great job for us. You know, came in, learned very quickly, got up to speed in a few days, really. Played a lot of different roles for us defensively, and then those roles have expanded this year quite a bit. I'd say maybe a little bit surprisingly. I mean, because it looked like he had, you know, quite a few roles from last year and then starting this year. But as the seasons progressed, and you know, we've emerged to wherever we've emerged a little bit to defensively, schematically, you know, his roles have, I would say, expanded, not contracted. So smart guy, has a lot of different skills. Was very comfortable doing a lot of things, whether it be in-line play, end-of-the-line play, coverage, special teams. He's a really smart, tough, dependable player. Shows up every day and works hard, does a good job. I think a guy you can count on. Whatever you ask him to do, you can count on it. He's going to give it to you every day, whether it's Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday. That's a good thing. Okay. All right. Great seeing you, Houston. Thank you.